Their last 10, the last 2 in a row. Got the terrific year at their Assembly Hall, 14-1 at home. Andre Patterson hoping that he can go out in style and erase the memories of the up-and-down play that has plagued his career, and in particular the last couple of games against Ohio State and Michigan. They are juiced for this one. In Bloomington, our officials are Ed Hightower, Tom O'Neill, and Ted Valentine.
You talk about the last 2 games with Andre Patterson, 38 minutes. He had 6 points. I'm sorry, 50 minutes. And that's just something that he should be able to do. You would think more, but just based upon looking at his ability. Right away, Indiana stays in man-to-man. They're out aggressive on the ball. Get a traveling call right away.
Ryan Johnson turns it over against the man-to-man defense provided by Luke Recker.
Time of the school that for Indiana, the players, it was probably better that it was a short turnaround, because as a player, you don't want to have to sit and think about an embarrassing loss as they took against Michigan. You want to have time to get right back and try to avenge yourself.
Guyton tried to get it low to Patterson. The Illini taking it right back. Jared G. And the rebound by Recker. Now, from that standpoint, players have it a little easier than coaches who have only their video to live with over the 2-day period.
You're right. Players, all of it, you know, they forget about things relatively quickly. Right away, starting off, Andre misses an easy layup with a good pass from Luke Recker.
And Guyton knocked it off the knee of Matt Hellman, Indiana ball.
Well, Patterson gets open off the good pass. G didn't know where the ball was. Just did not put it down, did Andre Patterson. You saw him look away as though he thought it was already in the basket. You can see, struggled in the game against Michigan, did not play in the second half.
0 for 7 against the Wolverines. Just 6 against the Buckeyes last Thursday. Tonight, the 3rd game in a 6-day period for the Hoosiers. Record of the hole, short on the scoop. Hellman there, smallest man on the floor, to spirit it away for the Illini. And Hellman moving into the point guard role, vacated by the senior Kewan Garris, consensus first team all Big Ten guard last year. The first points at last from Jerry Hester.
Jerry Hester quietly has been playing well the last 5 games, averaging solidly over 18 points a game.
Guyton quickly back. Almost 2 minutes in, he gets the Hoosiers on the board for the first time, and the lob by Kevin Turner over G. Well, add it all up Sunday, and depending on how you look at it, it was either perfection or disaster. Indiana certainly would say the latter. 33% of season low, the most points ever allowed by a Bob Knight Hoosier team.
Well, it's a couple with that from the field this year. Indiana shooting almost 49, almost 50%. So that's part of the reason they obviously didn't get things going well. Michigan did a good job.
G rejecting Recker big. And then as Guyton challenges Hester, he draws the foul.
That play looked almost like A.J. Guyton put the ball up, and I thought it looked like he put it up left-handed. You'll see G come over and catch Recker putting it back, and then Guyton gets the ball and tries to come. And I thought he put it right back in the face of Jerry Hester. Yeah, he really did. He started to try to shoot it left-handed and caused the contact to get himself 2 foul shots.
Thank you very much.
Sarah G, who had to split the center role with Chris Gandy last year, more than double the total number of block shots this year. Guyton getting 1 of 2, has all 3 points for Indiana. Guyton Sunday started well, back-to-back threes early, did not hit another shot from that point. And another Illini giveaway.
Yeah, they've just turned it over for the 4th time, I believe, in an effort to try to get things done. Lon Kruger's telling this team they basically just need to get in sync. They're a little too excited, and they came out to match the intensity that they felt would be here by the Hoosiers.
Rob Turner, former McDonald's All-America out of Wilmington, Delaware. Guyton ready to break down Hester, and off the ball they're going to get G in the matchup with Patterson. Second Illini foul. G down about 15 pounds from last year.
Yeah, he looks much better. He has much better definition. And you made mention of something today. As you look at the Illinois players, the Illini, they all look physically stronger than they have in the past. And I'm sure that's due to the weight work that's been put on them by Lon Kruger.
Patterson looking pretty strong here on the offensive board. Illinois' 7th trip. They turned it over for their first 6, and they miss here. Turner can't get it. Long rebound, chased down by Gladness. And off his foot and out of bounds.
You've got to be able to make good decisions. And that one might have been one where Gladness needed to get the ball in the right hands. But watch on the right side. You see Patterson gets away with a little shove on G. Gets the ball and puts it back. Gets himself involved early, does Andre Patterson. He's a senior, obviously, last game. I think, you know, the rule would be with anybody at this stage. You've got to lead the young players on this team, and they've been trying to get Andre to do it for years.
And it's his last chance tonight. If it doesn't happen tonight, that's it for him, at least here. Victor Chukwu-Debe, Sergio McClain, both in off Lon Kruger's bench.
Both of these guys are a little more picker screeners. The defensive player is McClain. McClain does not know what a losing year is like, having won 4 state championships at Peoria.
Not really expecting that pass.
That's 3 seconds.
Chukwu-Debe with a miss, finally captured by Guyton.
Well, those are the 2 guys they probably would prefer not having to shoot the ball, Dave.
Not usually in the job description. Guyton left his feet, nowhere to go, and Gladness there to bail him out. Turner looking to feed Patterson underneath. Now guarded by Chukwu-Debe and traveled. Third Indiana turnover.
Both teams a little too excited here with just a little under 4 minutes to go.
Illinois won the first meeting January 3rd, but not before a near miraculous Hoosier comeback from 22 down with about 11 minutes to go in the second half. Only losing 74-72.
Was a great comeback. Guyton makes the basket.
And 2 or ESPN Plus. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Northwestern, Penn State, Ohio State. And then on Friday, they would match up this way. What you want to do is avoid falling below 5th. Top 5 get a bye. Right now, that Michigan-Indiana game would take on a few interesting overtones.
Sure would. It would be obviously somewhat of a rematch. But Michigan has to feel pretty good about their ability to get some things done, because I thought Michigan really played better at that game than Indiana did.
Record called for fouls going into the break, and A.J. Guyton is called immediately coming out of it. Only 2 Hoosier fouls so far. They get Turner an open look. Can't get to 3. Gladness has the board. Illinois 1 of 5 from the field with 4 turnovers. Hoosiers not a whole lot better. 3 turnovers and 2 out of 6.
See, on the floor with A.J. Guyton. In order to turn Guyton and loose to be in his natural position, too, they have Luke Recker handle the basketball.
Recker can't get the 3-pointer.
Because as little as Guyton is, he's not played point guard very much in his career. Even in high school, he is just the guy that caught the ball and tried to make offensive plays as opposed to getting other people involved.
And he was at his absolute best doing that Thursday at Columbus. 18 consecutive Indiana points at one point in the second half with the season-high 27. That's what made Sunday so shocking.
Well, in addition, Dave, that's in 11 minutes. I mean, he was on a roll.
Hester still the only Illini points.
Illini are in good shape, though, because Indiana hasn't run away from them.
Out of the double team, Guyton. Work it around again for Recker. Turner denied him the 3. Gladness can't get the turnaround, and Chukwu-Debe, 6'7" sophomore, coming down with the board.
Lon Kruger talked about Victor Chukwu-Debe today and really likes the way he plays. They throw him in if Jared G isn't going good, and they take anything they can get from Jared G offensively.
4th quarter already for William Gladness, and 4 minutes have gone by since the only Illinois basket, a 3 by Jerry Hester. They are one of their first 7, but only trail by 2. We're just about 6 minutes into this.
I mean, there's just no offensive continuity on either side of the ball. Illinois just can't make a basket. Indiana's offense just hasn't done very much.
And luck on the shot by Patterson. Gladness there to put it back and shoot for the 3-point play.
Well, Andre Patterson makes a little jump shot right there. I mean, he takes the turn, it goes in and out, and you see Gladness gets on it. I thought Sergio McClain got his hand straight up. The official standing right there thought there was a foul. Gladness gets one, plus the basket.
19 to lead the Hoosiers in the first meeting on near perfect shooting. And a perfect hop off the back iron here. 8-3.
I heard the perfect come out. I want to know where you going with perfect.
Perfectly lucky. 8 unanswered Indiana points after that early Hester three. Arius Davis has come on down for Kruger.
That's another guy that Ron was talking about today was Arius Davis. Said he'd been shooting the ball well, being guarded by Luke Record.
7 on the shot clock. Davis driving past Turner, and the floater just over the outstretched arm of Andre Patterson.
Yeah, good solid move there by Davis because he needed to pull up and he lofted it over the top.
Arius Davis, the only non-Illinois product on the Illini. He's from Wake Cross, Georgia, junior. Guyton pulling up, misfiring. Chuku Debe holding off Patterson, and here comes Hester. Gladness back. Hester going right at him, rebounded by Record. Indiana briefly with numbers. Now Guyton, the leaner past Keldon.
Well, it was a tough shot. They've got Chuku Debe that they need to make a substitution for here. So they're going to let G in the game, who was waiting for him. But that was a tough shot by Guyton because he almost got himself past being paralleled by the basket and was able to still jump back to get it in.
So back in comes Jared G for Chuku Debe. They check on him on the Illinois bench. Davis lets fly a three, and he comes in red hot off the bench.
Oh, he comes in smoking. That's what Lon was saying. He's shooting the ball very well.
Shoots him within 2. Turner pulling up on the baseline.
And Dwayne McClain had his back turned. He never even saw him coming because he was looking up for what he thought was going to be a shot taker.
I was about to say we're going to get a little flow going finally, but the whistle on Luke Recker, his second and the team's third, coming up. When we get done here, it's number 11, South Carolina, playing host to Georgia. Gamecocks 10-4 in the SEC, currently second in the East. DJ Mackey has been suspended for the first half of this game by the SEC for an unsportsmanlike conduct incident. They still have hopes of tying Kentucky, which closes at Auburn and at South Carolina. G on the spin, back within 2 from the Illini.
Well, that's a real plus for the Illini if G starts get anything going offensively, because he's really in there to rebound and block shots.
Illinois not tall, but they are wide, you alluded to. Obviously, spending a lot of time in the weight room. G just won a 3 over 6'6". Alon Kruger. Davis batted out by Turner, and they got it before it went out. Got the 22nd timeout. Nice play by Andre Patterson.
Yeah, it looked as though down by 2.
And he knows how to beat Indiana. As we said, January 3rd, they hold on 74-72. Turner with 35, including 7 threes. They did lose almost all of the 22-point lead in the second half, but they did survive, and that for Kevin Turner capped a 2-game stretch that Kruger says really defined the personality not only of Kevin Turner, but of his entire club, as Heldman gets the steal.
Just a bad decision by A.J. Guyton, but you're right. Lon says his team all of a sudden seemed to find they had somebody scoring, and they've had different guys. It had been Turner, it had been Jerry Hester. In this game, it's Arius Davis who's coming off the bench providing 8 quick points.
Turner back-to-back 30-plus games against UCLA and Indiana, and the searching for the go-to man at that point ended, and they have seldom been stopped since that point.
A bad decision. Now take a look. He wants to make the pass to Andre Patterson. Right here you see Matt Hellman is there, and if you see Sergio McClain sees this, there's no chance you can slide a pass down here, but A.J. Guyton tries to force it in anyway. You can see if Hellman doesn't get it, Sergio McClain has it. I don't know where A.J. Guyton thought he was going with that pass. Just a poor decision. 2 of 5 turnovers by A.J. Guyton.
And Indiana, which all year has had a terrific assist to turnover ratio, still looking for their first assist.
Had averaged over 20 assists a game in the last 5. Only had 12 against Michigan.
In comes Michael Lewis, replaced as a starter tonight by Rob Turner. Guyton going on Davis and draws the contact. First on Davis, 5th against the team.
His first personal, the team's 5th.
You have to be concerned about A.J. Guyton. He's the leading scorer on the team at about 16 points a game. Now you watch, they switch anytime they can. They've made a decision to keep somebody out on him, and here was just a poor decision on the foul. Guyton struggling from the line, only 1 of 3.
Six points now for A.J. Guyton. 1 less than he had in the entire game on Sunday. We're tied at 13. Kevin Turner yet to score, though. He has been bottled up. Davis, on the other hand, finally misses, and it is tapped over in front of Guyton. He can't get to it. Still Illinois ball.
Dave, that's called a heat check.
How hot do you think you still?
How hot am I? That's a heat check when you're out that far. And Lon Kruger's going to bring him over to show him about his heat check. You may want to get that some other time.
Cool him down.
Yeah, you cooled off a little bit. He made the first 3 baskets.
Jerry Hester has come back. In fact, all 5 starters on the floor again for the Fighting Illini. Both teams 5 out of 13 from the field. And tied at 13 at 10:20 to go in the half. G drifting outside and has 4.
Yeah, G is stroking that jump shot, which takes Andre Patterson. If he's guarding Jared G away from the basket, G's not known as a big scorer, averaging just 7 points a game.
Patterson fed early, had some productive possessions, but this time travels again. Second time he's been called for steps.
He actually made his best move. If Andre Patterson opens up and faces you, that normally is his best move. But after that, if he doesn't explode to the basket, his footwork doesn't allow him to get where he needs to go. Especially when you try to take extra steps without a dribble.
Think about him, though. A bad first half does not always lead to a bad second half. Game at Purdue, a perfect example, carried Indiana to a near upset on the Boilermakers' home floor a couple of weeks back. Patterson, the kick out to Lewis. And it's Gladness inside, and an offensive foul on William Gladness.
Oh, my goodness. Bob Knight is set to get a technical here shortly. Well, you get a chance to take a look at it. That is a missed call. That is a missed call because Johnson tried to come around for the steal and he missed it, and it took him out of position.
Knight still doing a slow burn. Luckily for Ted Valentine, he's on the other end of the floor.
That's exactly what that is. That is a slow burn because there was no question Bob Knight did not feel that was a foul. Our replay showed that it clearly was not.
Heldman to try the 3. And knocked away by Patterson. G with a terrific save, but it comes down to A.J. Guyton. Lewis spotted up, passes up to 3. Waits for Patterson inside and throws it away. 8 Indiana turnovers.
Well, I don't know where Lewis was throwing the ball, but the problem that you have is if you're not making shots, as you remember, Indiana shot just 32%. Against Michigan tonight, just 38.
Well, that added to the surprise element Sunday because, as you saw, they had been so red hot. 55% the previous 5. Matt Heldman on the board with his 58th three-pointer of the year, the number 7 3-point shooter in the Big Ten. Biggest lead for the Illini. They have it at 5, 8.5 to go. Guyton unable to answer.
You won't be able to out-hustle the Illini to the ball because that's one of the things I think they do so much better than they have in the past. The loose balls, those extra things, as you and I were looking at the club today, there's nothing major about what they do in terms of rebounding or anything else.
This is called on William Gladness for Indiana away from the ball. His second, and the uproar getting louder chatter among the fans, although Knight continuing to hold his peace.
He is holding his peace as well as I've seen in a very long time. Now let's see if the Illini can take advantage of what's going on out here. Pretty much the way they would prefer to have it go, to get the Hoosiers a little bit out of control.
Lewis stripped it and held into the deck to get it back for G.
What a great effort by Matt Hellman. Go down on the floor after losing it and find a wide open G under the basket.
That is a senior play.
Yes, all-out effort play. You talked about the UCLA game. That's what that's a product of. They thought that they were going to get hammered against UCLA and was able to stay in it and win a game they didn't think they were going to win before that point. And since then, they don't really believe they're going to lose.
Watch here, I believe, here as Brian Johnson draws the foul underneath against Charlie Miller.
Now watch Hellman. He gets in here. The ball is stripped away by Lewis. It goes down to the floor, and so does Hellman. Gets it, drops it right there to Jared G. And Bob Knight is just incensed at that particular point about his team. And I think particularly that they don't go down on the floor to come up with the loose ball.
Right. Charlie Miller, one of the 4 outgoing Hoosier seniors. Final game at Assembly Hall for him under Bob Knight. High expectations as a Florida Player of the Year coming out of Miami 4 years ago, but never really exploded into the force that they expected him to be. And he misses them both, but Larry Richardson comes in, immediately grabs the offensive board.
I think you can say that about the entire senior class, that they never able to do what it is that people expected them to do.
Nice try. Turner not able to keep it in bounds, and it's 7:20.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. You've got to make that call, and Ted Valentine is standing there. William Gladness has no business with his elbow up above someone's shoulders. He's lucky there was no retaliation. I mean, that's just not the way you play the game.
Well, neither team shooting all that well, particularly Indiana at 36%. 8 turnovers. They have yet to hit a 3. And their free throw shooting subpar as well, just 3 out of 7 from the free throw line and trailing by 7.
Yeah, Illini came in, got 2 quick threes from Arias Davis. Doesn't put a lot of minutes in the game, but if you get 8 points off of a bench player the first half, that's a strong evening early. Boy, Sergio McClain is guarding A.J. Guyton, and it'll be tough for him to get a shot off.
5 on the shot clock, has to fall away, and another one rattles in and out, but put back by Richardson.
Yeah, the line, I kind of fell asleep after a good defensive play, I thought, by Sergio McClain, and get a fall away from A.J. Guyton.
Good cut inside by Johnson, and McClain there to find it.
Ran that at the timeout. That was drawn up at the timeout because they missed it early in the first half.
First points put on the board by Johnson. Indiana last time down, breaking a 5-minute, 20-second scoring drought. And it didn't take that long to get Larry Richardson in. He was their leading scorer Sunday, 13, a career high in 21 minutes. Guyton for 3. McClain tangled up with Miller, and this time it's Kruger upset because his man gets the call.
Yeah, and Lon Kruger's wrong on this one, but what Lon Kruger's making sure is that everything stays fair. Now, the thing you have to be worried about with the Illini is how to play defensively. You'll see right here is going to be the play. McClain is going to make the cut, but he'll ball fake out here to get the defender to keep going. Watch, he ball fakes it, back door, Hellman comes, goes with the left, because if he goes to the right side, Lewis would have been there to help. That takes it away.
So back to the line goes Miller, who missed his first 2, hits the front end here. Illinois 17 foul. Luke Jimenez, the invited walk-on, later put on scholarship by Knight in to replace the struggling A.J. Guyton. Miller hits a pair.
Yeah, they've got a call. They call on Victor Chukwudebe. They have been jostling in there the last 2 plays. Chukwudebe was trying to block out and got kind of a flying elbow, and the official was standing right there. I mean, they both were in the midst of the jostle. His elbow really just got away from him.
Yeah, they could have called that at least a couple of times earlier.
Yeah, Dave. I mean, you and I had been looking at it. Victor Chukwudebe is a strong player, aggressive player, and he's just trying to make sure there's a call evenly. But Larry Richardson gets a foul shot out of this. On the foul line is always Johnson. This has been going on, but you'll see at the end, see the elbow? He threw the elbow, and that's really what got the call. Oh, they're calling this?
Yep, they're going to call it.
They're calling this a technical or a flagrant foul?
Flagrant foul, they sure are.
They're calling this a flagrant.
And now Kruger wants the explanation from Ted Valentine. First foul of the game on Chukwudebe. Ruled flagrant.
Yeah, I think they're calling this an intention flagrant foul. I really did. I thought Chukwudebe got his elbow up.
They're still looking a little puzzled as Richardson. They get them both down a pair.
And gets the ball, they get the ball out of bounds. Now, you get some jostling inside. That's the big. But you see the elbow is what they call. So they call it flagrant foul. Flagrant on the dead ball. And they...
Illinois wants a 20. They have not been to the line yet. Although most of the
momentum they had just moments ago.
Up to the Hoosiers to reestablish that now. Here's Jimenez, started by the still scoreless Illinois scoring leader, Kevin Turner. Nothing yet from him. He averages 18 per game.
The one thing about the team, the Illini, is that they have any number of players have led on some particular time.
And this time an offensive foul on an elbow by Richardson.
At some particular time, you get those kind of things. Officials trying to get control of this game. I mean, that's all this can really be at this point. You'll take a look inside. Richardson, yeah, he chucks. Johnson does a good job making sure the official has to make a call, and I think it's the call you've got to make.
Johnson's drawn one from Gladys. Matchup right here, and now one from Richardson.
But what does that tell you? That's what Johnson does. He draws fouls.
Turner continues to struggle. That one off his hip, but picked up by Hester, who spots Heldman. As the shot clock gets under 10.
Got to get to Turner because he's one that can create for himself.
Turner over Jimenez. Still scoreless. This another door. And Indiana right underneath for Larry Richardson. Tipped by Turner, won't go. The foul on the rebound attempt by Richardson.
Yeah, it is. He came over the back.
More turnovers than field goals. In fact, 3 more than the baskets totaled by Knights Hoosiers so far. Does that tell you that the response that he hoped to get after what happened on Sunday, he can no longer hope for? I mean, has the window passed for them to take out their frustration on this team?
No, I don't think so. I think that what that tells you is that the effort's there, but the effort is at a much more hyphen pitch than it has been the efficiency. With throwing the ball away and missing shots just mean that they may be a little too psyched to play. But I think you'll agree when you look at the Illinois team that one of the things that makes them any good.
They just called another elbow foul. Richardson. And that is a technical.
This is the same thing that's been going on both ends. And I'm going to tell you what I watched. I watched Lon Kruger complain to the official that the official had started this. And the official he complained to made the call on the other end on the same play that they got Chukwudebe on. To get a chance on the right side to see.
Oh, Chukwudebe hitting.
Chukwudebe hit what I think was. Did he get his shots?
Richardson Not only assessed his third personal, but a technical, which will be shot now by Matt Hellman. Their 89% free throw shooter, third best in the Big Ten.
10th best shooter in the country is Matt Hellman. But they can count on him making shots.
And these are the first free throws, other than a couple early by Chukwu-Debe for the Illini, and Hellman does hit.
Take a look right there, and you'll see what happens. Watch on the right side. There's the elbow there while they're just standing there, and the official standing right there watching it. I have to tell you, that's a dumb play. I don't care how you cut it from anybody.
Well, especially with the forewarning and the fact that it's already happened over and over again, and they're really paying so much attention to it.
Well, that's why I say it's a dumb play. Because I say this. If you're on the floor and guys throwing elbows, the nature of the game is you protect yourself, one. But first of all, you don't do it after you get the warning. And second of all, you don't do it while an official standing right there watching.
Well, they are really watching Richardson. That is 4 on Scary Larry.
Scary Larry.
Man, is he intimidating in practice, and maybe a little overly so, a little overly jacked up for this one. 4 fouls unless they change this one to Turner. Well, they pointed and signaled first at Richardson. They may have changed it to Rob Turner.
I suspect the officials are trying to control this game.
It was Turner called for his first. 4:50 in the half. Illinois looks to add to a 7-point lead. And Johnson called for steps.
We've talked about this being senior night for the Hoosiers. I think, you know, the point you made at the top of the show, the Illini are seniors too, and they can play in tough environments. As a matter of fact, they're 12-3 on the road. I mean, in the conference, I mean, they can play on the road.
Gladness coming up short on the baby hook.
And you see Chukwu-Debe come out of there strong with the rebound.
He's got 5 already off the bench for Victor. At no point has Illinois was rattled by anything that's happened.
No, they have a lot of confidence in their ability to make plays.
Traveling by Turner, and they've also survived a miserable first half by their leading scorer.
Surviving that, as I said, to me is not a big surprise. I think that's what a senior club does. They take whoever's scoring and they just go to him.
A.J. Guyton has come back.
He'll make that normally because he likes to go left. He got away with a foul, too.
Gets the board over to Turner. Gives it back to Rob. Launches a 3. Well long. And the battle in the corner won by Hellman.
Smart play by the guard, Matt Hellman, to get under and help out Brian Johnson, who had very little chance to control the ball.
Off one.
I like this.
Tip.
Johnson. What a tip. Hellman makes a tough play to come up with the ball, then takes a difficult shot. And Johnson, who's been able to create 2 offensive fouls, makes a tough tip.
That one as high as the shot clock before it came down. Indiana has missed their last 6 shots, down by 9, biggest deficit. Scoop won't go. A.J. Guyton absolutely snake bit.
Can't get it to go down. See, this is what a good veteran team does. You see him push it up and then just hold on to it. A younger team would have tried to score on that fast break.
Gambling beats Gremlin. When to go, when to slow.
Well, the other thing is they've channeled the emotion, so now they've taken away what could have been a big scoring spurt by Indiana, and they've made that work in their favor because Indiana never got going.
Bester can't get the 3-pointer. Richardson the board. 4 minutes without a bucket for the Hoosiers, who for much of the year have been about as good an offensive team as the Big Ten's had. Best shooting team most of the year. In the lane for Gladness. He has 5, and they're back within 7. Illinois again at their own preferred pace, very patient. They work at the Turner, who at last scores almost 18 minutes gone in the game. They get their first points from Kevin Turner.
One thing they were going to do, your guy leads you in scoring, you're going to find a way to keep getting involved. It's just a matter of time that he should warm up or make a couple baskets.
Guyton gets bumped by Turner as he almost gets past it along the baseline.
I mean, you have to have guys on the team that'll just make effort plays for you. Just come up with a way to make things happen. The ball is shot here, and out of nowhere, you'll see Brian Johnson just try to get it going back toward the basket. Fortunately for the Illini, he gets it to go in. Those kinds of plays, I think, have been huge when you think about the Illini, the fact that they have been out-rebounded at one point, 10 out of 15 games, but yet have been able to win 9 out of 10. That says a lot about effort plays or the intangibles.
Arius Davis, who got them really jump-started with 8 quick points off the bench early in the first half in. Andre Patterson returning, as you saw, and Guyton with 7. Leading Indiana back within 7. Minute 51 to go in the first half, controlled for the most part by Illinois.
And Valentine turned and said, what? And then teed him up.
Sure did. I mean, you can see it right there. Ted didn't like whatever it was that Bob Knight said.
Now, Knight here saying, what did I say? I don't think he meant necessarily to get that technical here, but this is where it finally comes.
No, it didn't look that way because the conversation started out relatively calmly, I thought, at the beginning, and then that was the latter part of the conversation, but Bob Knight has picked up a technical foul.
Second against Indiana. Richardson also assessed one early for an elbow. Hellman back to the line. Busy night for Valentine, Hightower, and O'Neal. Most of it still ahead. A rare miss by Matt Hellman.
It has indeed been a busy night for Ted Valentine and the crew.
And Tom O'Neal getting his ear full. 8-point lead for the Illini. They have remained focused throughout a very jerky first half at Assembly Hall. Hellman back out. Turner denied the 3 by Jimenez. Traveled.
No, it was Turner that traveled. Jimenez was coming up to guard him, and Turner got himself hurried and traveled.
9th turnover against Lon Kruger's Illini. Each team with 9 turnovers. Indiana's problem shooting 29%. Their season worst was Sunday, 33% at Michigan. Patterson, as he ducks underneath Jared G, draws the contact. Well, they're going to call it on Arius Davis, his second, and the team's 10th. Coming up on the Courtyard by Marriott Report at halftime with Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps. They are joined by Michigan State's Tom Izzo live in the studio to look at all the action from the Big East and a preview of Georgia and number 11 South Carolina. That is moments away.
Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans, clearly one of the surprises in the league, but I don't think anybody would be any more surprised than even the Illini based upon where they are. They were expected to be in somewhere near 7th place. They're here should they win tonight and Michigan State lose to Purdue to be tied for first.
Both teams pick no better than middle of the pack. You're exactly right. This was supposed to be a Purdue-dominated year in the Big Ten, and Purdue is up there, but they are behind these two. A standing ovation for Ted Valentine. As he hits Jared G with his second.
Well, they start playing inside, and this is the one where I think they actually call a foul. They get it on Jared G. They got a chance there. They also had a chance to call it on the other side on Hester, because Hester was out playing pretty aggressively too.
So back we'll see Chukwudebe replacing G, former Illinois Mr. Basketball 4 years ago out of Chicago. Patterson again getting 1 out of 2. Indiana down 6. We near the 1-minute mark.
You know, the thing I think Lon Kruger has done a very, very good job of is finding roles for this team. Because you have to remember, Lon took this team over. The only player that he recruited for the most part for this team that plays a lot is Sergio McClain. The rest of these players were here.
These were Lou Henson recruits, and he has molded their second straight 20-win season.
He's had 20 wins at 4 separate schools.
Hester, as the shot clock almost was down to nothing. Offensive rebound, Chuku Debe. Hester in the middle of the lane.
I'll tell you what, by the end of the game, that's going to be a big play because you've got a chance, Indiana, with that bucket not being made at this point, looking at trying to get the game down to 4. You're now down 8.
Shot clock off for the Hoosiers. Jimenez waits for Guyton, down to 14 seconds.
But he's guarded by Hester, who's pretty good. Hester likes to go left. They'll try to trap him if they can.
Jimenez set up. He's been hot from 3 and rattles this one in. 11 of his last 15 from midcourt. Hester with a miss, and Indiana, thanks to the late blast by Luke Jimenez, follows up the night technical in a storm of his ire at the end of the first half. Now, wait a minute. The
locker room's not that way. Wait a minute. You need to make a little turn. Bob Knight walked by to put a little glare on Mr. Valentine.
Well, the halftime numbers not real pretty for the Hoosiers. They're outshot 46%, 32%. Both turned it over 9 times. Big advantage at the line for the Hoosiers. Guyton the leader with 8, but only 2 assists in that half for Indiana. And Andre Patterson, in his final game on the home floor here at Assembly Hall, will have to do it in the second half because it didn't happen for him in the first. Hell, was just 4 points, never really a factor.
Not at all. Indiana, the last 5 games, have shot 50%, had 32% against Michigan, and have struggled. Averaged also 20 assists in those 5 games, as you said, only 2 in the first half.
Well, they go right to Andre to start the second, and it rattled out on him. The other guys missing in action for the Hoosiers, Luke Recker, who did not score.
Oh, he got fouled. No question.
Feldman fouled from behind by Guyton, his second, and after a 0-0 on Sunday, 4 and 3, a little better, but not making the impact he hoped to in his home finale here.
No, he hasn't been as effective as Andre Patterson as you'd like to see if you're a Hoosier fan. But if you're an Illini fan, you need to see your #1 guy get going as well. Kevin Turner is that guy. Has been shooting, averaging about 18 points a game, 19 here of late. And you see he has just 2 after having 35 and 7 in the first contest.
Feldman has 7. Kevin Turner just 1 out of 6 and had 3 turnovers. We go with only the 2 first half points.
Big story for the Illini, though. Arius Davis came off. He was 3 for 4 and 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. 8 points in 5 minutes. That made the difference.
Really turned the game, and Indiana has trailed ever since those quick 8 for Arius Davis. Jared G had a nice start early, 6 points.
Indiana in there man-to-man. It looked like they're doing a little bit more of switching if they can on people coming out. Oh, good move.
Wheeling right around Patterson, counted.
Oh, what a good move by G. And G's not normally known as an offensive player. He may have gotten away with the hook. If he did, he was smart or clever with the move. You see G take the bounce twice, real quick. Did it quickly. He's left-handed, got around, went up strongly, made the basket, and fouled by Andre Patterson.
Jared G has 9, and he leads all Illinois scorers. They have the lead up to 9. Ties their largest margin. Going back late in the first half, Indiana has missed 10 of their last 12 from the field. One of those good open shots that they have made all year. Here, a bad pass intended for Gladness by Rob Turner.
I mean, I don't know what Turner was throwing the ball because Gladness didn't have his weight going to the outside or nor his hand up like he necessarily wanted it bad enough out there.
Recker out to get tight on Brian Johnson.
Jerry Hester, I think he can take Latness. That's what if I'm Hester, I'm looking to try to figure out a way to take him.
Going to give it up. Turner on Turner. Kevin can't hit it over Rob. Easy put back as G comes up and cleans it up.
Yeah, but Johnson makes the play because he gets in the middle and knocks the ball free.
G has 11, the largest lead of the game, now up to 11. 30% shooting by Indiana. Will it heat up?
If you can't make little shots inside like Andre Patterson has missed and throw the ball to the right people, no, they can't make it up.
Ball went inside to Rob Turner, and from behind, the call goes against Matt Heldman for Illinois, his second.
Jared G just being active, as you might expect. He's on the left, and he's coming in. Now watch Johnson. See, Johnson keeps it loose. G just cleans it up, but Johnson was in between both Turner and Patterson to keep that loose. But G having a great game so far with, 11 points.
Johnson's two best plays have just resulted from sticking his hand up there.
Well, that's the kind of play he is. I mean, see, he gets rebounds. Every team needs somebody that doesn't need the glory but willing to do the dirty work. Brian Johnson is that player for their lineup. Jared G actually is the other one. He just made baskets today.
Jerry Hester short off the bank. And Luke Jimenez first to the loose ball, and he's fouled by Heldman. That is 3 on that.
But a good foul in the sense that he kept a fast break from the turn.
Matt Heldman stepping in at the point for Kewan Garris, who gave him 19 points and better than 5.5 assists last year. And this Illinois team much more balanced than Kruger was saying earlier today, not nearly as dependent on Garris. And probably because of that, a better team overall.
Without a doubt. With all due respect to Kewan Garris, this is a better team.
This time the foul, Jared G's third. Sign up now for ESPN Sports Zone free tournament challenge. Presented by Pizza Hut. Log on to ESPN.com, fill out the bracket, pick the winners. And you could win a trip to next year's Final Four. The entries begin on Sunday, March 8th. He's going to have to sit after picking up his third. So the team's third. And Chukudebe is in.
Illegal screen. Oh, and they call it on Jimenez.
Jimenez is first.
The thing you watch when Bob Knight has seen with his team is that the Illini's defense is so good, you are rarely able to turn a corner to get anything from it, Dave. They do a very good job of cutting the angles off and making you go side to side as opposed to getting directly to the basket.
And you're taking away what Indiana has to have in their system. The ability to turn.
Right. They really have to have somebody penetrate as Turner knocks down the three because they haven't been able to get Patterson or Gladness going inside. So without any penetration, you shut out their offense totally.
Three by Turner is 71st of the year. Team high for the Illini. Their lead up to 14, the biggest yet. Patterson fouled by Chukudebe. Or Johnson. They're going to put it on Brian Johnson, his second. Well, back on January 3rd, it was a much bigger deficit, and it was on the road that Indiana had to mount the comeback, and they did behind the big second half by A.J. Guyton. They shot 65% in that second half run. 28-6, briefly tied it. Patterson a shot at the tail end to possibly force overtime. Couldn't get it, and the Illini survived by 2.
Well, they survived it eventually because Kevin Turner made a three-point shot, three-point basket that gave them some room to breathe for a little bit early just prior to that. But the rule was when the Illini let them get back in the game, that cushion I really think was the cushion that really turned their year around to beat an Indiana team on the road when they're trying to come back after a 22-point deficit.
Patterson giving the Hoosiers their first points of the half. Turner may be starting to at last find the range.
What I think he's done is he's figured out what they want to do with him defensively. 2 dribbles and he can get where he needs to go. Oh, good. Oh, I thought that was a block.
That's a tough call, boy. Kevin Turner went up and stymied A.J. Guyton.
Ooh, I thought that was, we call that all-hand I mean, A.J. Guyton gets the ball, and he takes a move. Woo! He may have fouled him after the fact, but I thought he got all ball on that one.
9-point for Guyton. He's joined Calbert Cheney, Steve Alford, and Eric Anderson, the only other Hoosiers to score at least 400 points each of their first 2 seniors. Their final home appearance tonight, including Andre Patterson. They are the first class under Bob Knight to go 4 years without winning at least one Big Ten championship. That, of course, is unless they win the postseason tournament. Bobby Eggers and Richard Mandeville yet to see any action tonight. We saw them briefly on the bench. They have also not won an NCAA game. And they have their last shot, presuming they do get a bid. That would be a shock if they don't. This is traveling on Kevin Turner.
Well, you know, this team, even if they win the Big Ten tournament, what the Big Ten is doing is they consider the Big Ten champion actually to be the season champion. So they don't really.
I'm telling you what, a banner's going up. If they win the tournament, you're going to see a banner here.
You may be right about that.
They're going to call themselves the champions either way.
They got a long road to hoe for that, though, Dave. I think you'll agree that this Indiana team is you've seen them go through droughts here where they just can't manufacture a basket. I really think that's one of the real downfalls of this team, where I think Illinois is just much better at that kind of thing.
Rob Turner, another miss. Patterson, side of the glass.
He got it. No, they got him. They should have got him. He came over the back.
Yep, they get Andre for his second.
Yeah, he misses a shot, and he turns and takes the shot. And I thought he took the shot not with enough aggressiveness, but his aggressiveness turned out to be when he came to try to get the second shot.
But another big part of the story, though, with this Indiana class is who is not here, who originally was part of that class.
Neil Reed being one of them. I mean, that's for sure. And then they had Michael Herman. And Michael Herman, who was here, and he left as a sophomore, outstanding player out of Chicago. I don't believe he's playing at all. Neil Reed transferred to Southern Mississippi. So there are a lot of players that decided to go other places.
Guyton can't get it, really looking frustrated right now. So not much in the way of depth. Only 11 in uniform this year. Big three, Arius Davis, just the way he began this game, and the lead is up to 15.
Bob Knight takes a timeout because he just doesn't have anything else to do with his team. So he's got to try to figure out how to slow this down. Carl Hoosiers are down 15, 14-27 to go. Not only down 15, things favoring the Illini.
And Luke Recker still scoreless. Fumbled out of bounds by Patterson. Mercy. Indiana still looking, Quinn, for their first field goal of the second half.
You just can't explain it. Had opportunities and can't close the door. 0 for 7. And the Illini taking advantage. 5 of 8.
Elvin cut in and then saw Patterson plugging the gap. Davis gone long. But it's Jerry Hester there to corral the offensive rebound, and they'll start it all over.
That wasn't a heat check. He took a shot and he was in rhythm. He never got going straight up. He ended up floating a little bit to his left, to his right. Heat check is when you come down and you're about 3 feet in front of the line and you just shoot one.
Hester just beats the shot clock. Recker Sunday, the only starter in double figures with 10. He challenges Victor Chukudebe and earns a trip to the line where he will at last try to get his first point of the night.
What I've said to you on a consistent basis, Indiana has not been able to get going at the basket. Recker right here gets going toward the basket, gets fouled by Chukudebe, and that's the reason that they haven't been able to score, because they've gone on the perimeter, because the Illini have done an outstanding job, I think, and keeping Indiana going from sideline to sideline as opposed to north and south.
Recker 0 of 5 from the field. First trip to the line, Sergio McLean and Kevin Turner. For Davis and Johnson. Lon Kruger getting an awful lot out of Arius Davis in short stretches.
Yeah.
11 points.
Yes, Davis has just come in because he knows what he's in the game to do. They understand their roles now. And that was not the case until that UCLA game that you've alluded to. where all of a sudden they realized they had somebody that could score big numbers when they needed to, when they got 32 from Turner in that game, and the next game was against Indiana, and Kevin Turner got 35. The team started settling in the road.
After Lewis's steal, he gets it back from Guyton. Another miss. This is nothing short of unbelievable.
It really isn't, and the thing about it is Hellman couldn't afford the foul because he had 3.
Yeah, he's got 3 on this end now.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's a 5-point swing. It's a basket you should have, and a 3-pointer they pick up.
That lead almost as big as it was in Champaign. Counted for Patterson. Chukwu-Debe will get his 3rd.
The most interesting thing I've seen, one of the most interesting things, is that the Indiana struggle. The thing that just happened, Patterson gets a basket and a foul, and the guy that calls him in is Luke Recker. If you take a look at Patterson get this one and go up, put his body into Chukwu-Debe so he can't go get in position to get the block. You know, you got a freshman rallying the troops. That's part of the problem with this team.
And on senior night.
Oh, without a doubt.
Night.
A freshman is trying to get them together. Lon Kruger has brought his seniors together, and they've made plays.
A basket by Patterson, breaking 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Indiana went without a field goal going back to the 3 with 8 seconds to go in the first half. The Jimenez knocked down. Turner in and out. G inside for the putback for Illinois, and 7 in the half, 13 in the game for Jared G. A lot of bonus offense provided by the Illini center. McClain got that steal.
Yeah, good hands by McClain. Looking all the time to be active.
Member of 4 high school state championships at Peoria Manual High School.
Played for his dad for 3 of those years as a head coach. His dad was the assistant coach his first year that he won the championship. You've got to block out. Turner takes the shot, and from there, you'll just look inside. There'll be 1, 2, and then right there are 3 guys right there, and all of the Hoosiers are standing over there. You see G goes to get the ball.
Turner out for Hellman, around it out on the 3. Guyton way beyond bounds will shoot 3.
It's one of the few places, because I was about to say, when you're struggling like this, it's one of the places you may consider taking a 3, because the defense is backing up anyway.
That's the 3rd on Kevin Turner.
They haven't needed Kevin Turner. Arias Davis has made everything happen that Turner normally makes happen.
Really a great illustration tonight of what has put Illinois near the top of the conference all year, the balance and team-wide maturity.
Yeah, overall, they just expect somebody to step up, but they know that it'll happen with effort and defense. And then after that, they just work like heck, just making good things happen for the team. But it's typically been the Hester Turner doing the story.
Guide hit at 103 in Assembly Hall tonight. After 33% on Sunday, which itself followed a great streak, 55% over the previous 5 games, 9 of 34. Indiana not returning to form. A nice hustle. You force the Illini turnover. And Michael Lewis to inbound it to William Gladness.
Oh, he got away with an offensive foul.
Walker still without a basket. And Indiana has 1 more point from the line than they have from the field tonight. 20 free throws, 19 from the field, traveling on Davis.
Davis has been bringing some good things off the bench. And that's not one of the things you want to have. You don't like turnovers off the bench. And you don't want to give Indiana too many chances to come back and make a run at you.
As we said, the snake bit shooting continues for the Hoosiers. Lob inside for Gladness to scoop on the feed from Rucker.
Illinois needs to stay calm here, because another steal in the basket. You got the fans in the game. It's all just 11-point game as it is.
Yeah, they're in it. They're on their feet on this end of Assembly Hall.
You haven't heard anything. You let them come up with a steal.
Come up with a foul instead on Michael Lewis's first. Lewis, you weren't with us at the outset, replaced by Rob Turner in the starting lineup tonight. They have combined for 2. Those were by Turner in the first half. Kevin Turner back for the Illini. Illinois already has clinched its best finish in the Big Ten since their Final Four year of '89. And they were also second as they currently stand behind Michigan State.
Yeah, that '89 team had Kenny Battles, Nick Anderson, Ken McGill. They had a team that played against Seattle in the Final Four. Lost that game to Michigan.
Just by 2. They were that close to taking a trip to the finals. Hester has 7 after the bucket at the other end. Quiets him down a little bit. Guyton gets him back up. Another foul. A.J. with his 3rd.
And a bad foul it is, because you got a guy like Matt Hellman that far away. Anybody dribbling the ball, you don't want to foul him. Especially Matt Hellman. You don't want to start getting him on the foul line at 89%.
And that's 2 possessions in a row. The fouls have prevented the crowd from really raising this roof.
You're right.
They're just waiting for an excuse to.
Yeah, they're looking for a reason. You're right. To start standing up and cheering for a prolonged period of time.
Turner.
Oh, I thought he had that one.
Biggest lead for Illinois was 17.
Oh, he can't hold it in.
And as Recker drives, it's goaltended.
Got to be. And they're going to call a technical foul on McLean, too. But the question is, was he protecting himself?
Well, they say no. They've already signaled the T, and Recker is down hurt.
How can it not be a basket? If the ball is going up there, you can't touch the rim.
Well, Tom O'Neill's going to come over and make the call.
If you touch the rim and the ball's coming down, that is goaltending. I don't know what other rule you got. They got a bigger problem because Luke Recker stays down. See, he gets kicked in the back. Now, he's holding the rim. Now, the question for me, I don't know if McLean isn't protecting himself. So I'm not sure the technical foul is warranted. But if the ball is coming off the backboard, it's considered coming down, and they pull the rim. That's goaltending.
Maybe shouldn't be a technical, which they have already called, but definitely should be goaltending, which they haven't called.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's exactly the way I see it, Dave. That's what you said.
But
they got a guy down. What is he doing? Valentine just called a technical on Bob Knight, and he's being told that Luke Recker is down. What is he doing?
This is going to stand, though. Ed Hightower is pointing out to Ted he's only going out there to check on his injured player, and I don't think the technical will stand, but we'll see.
He's going to look at an injured player, and Valentine called a technical.
Well, Recker holding his right rib cage. He has made his way to his feet.
He's gone.
Oh, they're going to throw Knight. That technical stands. Wow. He'll plead his case to Hightower.
Well, no, he's going after Ted. There's no chance he's not going to tell him what he thinks about this one. And what he's telling him, that he had a player's down and he has a right to go and see what is with that player. Now it's time at this point. They just called another one.
Senior night 98 ends early for Bob Knight.
And he's trying to explain it now to Ed Hightower.
Well, they've had their chance to rescind it.
Oh, there's no doubt. I thought what you saw. That Bob Knight was going to look at Luke Recker, and I thought that Ed Hightower saw it and told him that. And you know what? And Ed Hightower is telling him he told him. I'm reading his lips. He's telling Bob Knight he told him that. And Ed Valentine was sticking with what he called. Now, was there something said along the way? I absolutely do not know. This is not going to be rescinded.
Valentine standing as far away as he can as Hightower continues to get the last volley of the night from Bob Knight.
Yeah, and at this point, it's a volley in vain. It's not going to be changed.
Now Tom O'Neill's turn. Well, he's got a little bit more to get off his chest still before he heads off the floor.
He wants to make the plea, but the plea, it's too late because Valentine is the one that called it, and he's the one that's got to take it back. And if he doesn't, then you've got to go with what you got.
And after 5 minutes or so, to a thunderous standing ovation, Knight will finally exit.
The last part of this is to make sure the fans get in it. That was to get the fans in it. Well, he's going to the other side where you can go in. You can go into the Indiana basketball locker room two ways. You can go that way that he went out to the training room. Bob Knight wants the fans in the game.
Now again, this all happened because Luke Recker was down injured. And Knight walks straight underneath the basket where his player was down. Valentine teed him up.
They're giving him 2 shots. Michael Lewis gets 2 shots because they gave it to him for the technical foul for the holding of the rim that Wayne McClain had. Now they've got to go down, and since they're bench fouled, they're 2 apiece. Since Bob Knight is ejection.
It is his first ejection this year. As Recker continues to ice down the 4 ribs, Hillman now will be at the line for a good long while.
He's getting 4 shots. They're going to give him 4 shots, and Hellman not likely to miss many, if any.
89%er for the season. Since Knight has not been ejected until tonight, and he's got a revamped coaching staff who takes his place in charge down there.
John Treloar, the assistant coach, John Treloar. Bob Knight is walking over to look at Luke Recker, and as he's walking out, Ted Valentine calls a technical, and Bob Knight just goes berserk with the thought that he got a technical for that. And that Mike Davis, the assistant, is trying to tell Tom O'Neill the same thing. And that's the young man that was down, Luke Recker.
We'll continue to ice it down. Don't think I have ever seen a coach ejected for checking on an injured player, but there had been a little involved in the story between Knight and the officials before that happened.
Yeah, I do think it's a carryover, for particularly the walk at halftime. All of that is a bit of a carryover. Good call.
Foul by Lewis.
Good call. No, this is the play that, to me, was the most puzzling. Luke Recker goes to the basket. Now, once the ball hits the glass and is coming off, you can't grab the rim. Now, McClain grabs the rim. They called him for the technical. They did not allow the basket. That was the most puzzling that I've ever seen.
That they appear to get backwards. No question. Kevin Turner on the line for the first time tonight.
No, I'm gonna take a little stand. That they blew. Not appear to get backwards. They blew that one. What happened with Bob Knight and David and Ted Valentine is a whole different story.
Well, you've seen Mount Knight erupt. How on the Richter scale would you rate that one?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't rate it, first of all. But, it's just the whole circumstance was just a little odd. I've got to tell you that. And I don't care who it is on the other side. Now, let's see, can the players calm down and play? That's the real stuff.
They have been down as many as 17. 13 here. Plenty of time. 9 to go. Guyton shooting in horrible luck all night. I don't know how many he's had go in and out, but it's a bunch.
And the look on his face was he made an expression, or he said something and made an expression like, just as you said, the frustration is building.
As hot as he was at Ohio State Thursday, when he could not miss, didn't matter where he was or what was going on, when he had 18 consecutive points in the second half. That's how cold he is now. Hellman heating up for the Illini.
The veteran team stays after it. I mean, that's why you got to like the Illini. I mean, they just play. And I love teams that come and play and take all of the things that go with it.
Gladness has 9. Back within 13. Never really seen any of the Illinois players' expressions change, no matter what's been going on.
Well, that's what seniors do. I mean, they just come out, but they've also had to withstand a 22-point comeback by this Indiana team before, so they know how to do that.
Ryan Johnson.
Open man gets the ball, makes the shot.
Johnson with 6. That long break did not affect their concentration, apparently, at all.
I tell you why. I think Lon Kruger is as good as anybody I've seen in a long time. A guy that stays confident, as Turner knocks down a 3, keeps his guys involved in the game. In other words, he keeps them to stay tough, just like he played. Back door, well, he had him. Turner had Lewis back on the back cut, and Hester wouldn't pull the trigger.
Johnson moving on Turner. Feldman can't shake Guyton. 3 for Hester. Second.
You see, you gotta like a team when they play like this. They roll. They are rolling. You give it to me, I'll figure out a way to give it back to you.
Then for Hester and a timeout called by Indiana. 20-second timeout.
20-second timeout.
Contest here on senior night.
One way they can look at it, though, they came back from 22 down, and it was on the road, and they almost pulled that one out. They're home here. They have everything intangibly that they could ask for, and 7 minutes to go. Not an impossible task if Patterson gets going again.
Yeah, but they need some tangibles. They need some buckets.
Forget the
The intangibles, nah, that doesn't work anymore.
Need some stops on this end.
Stops on this end, that's tangible, and some buckets on the other end, definitely tangible.
Chukudebe unguarded, didn't see that he was, though, and Hester can't get it. Chukudebe had only Rob Turner in the immediate neighborhood, and there's no way he can't score over him. Got it at the other end. And it's on Chukudebe, his 4th.
You want to talk about explosion. Watch this explosion. 1, now 2 explodes and takes the hit. The official makes that call on Chukudebe. I just thought Guyton got to the basket. They say Chukudebe moved in.
Well, he has 4, and he's about to be replaced by G. 3-point play, Guyton. 9 straight free throws. And march back to within 10. 66 to 56. Illinois, though, 55% in the second half. Hellman has 15. Indiana, 36%. 4 technicals, including the 3 on Bob Knight. It was a 10-point deficit when he left about 3 minutes ago, and it's still at 10.
Yeah, I thought the Illini did a good job of withstanding whatever momentum would come from having the home coach ejected.
Another big 3 by Hester. 3 3-pointers by Jerry Hester. They have all been quiet in the crowd quieters, and Recker coming back with that bruised right rib cage, and he misfired.
A little impatient. He looked at a 2-3 zone and didn't recognize it, so the Illini came out. First time they've changed all night, went to a 2-3. force some jump shots. Got him trapped.
He there to help. Send it over to Heldon. Shot clock at 10.
Oh, good move. And Andre Patterson was standing there and watched as Hester makes a great move to his left.
Various points of the game, the Illini taking turns, taking over it. Right now, it's Jerry Hester's turn.
That's what we talked about. They have found different people to take over at different points in the time. Indiana takes a full. Hester getting 2 of his 15. I mean, and he has been strong. Come out too late. He can shoot the J. Now, here's a kid that had back surgery. So at the beginning of the season, he was a little slow getting himself involved offensively for fear that he might hurt it. Since right after that UCLA game, he started to stand up as well. In the recent game that they just had against Purdue, he had 27. So he feels very good, comfortable, and can make shots from both sides of the ball, inside and outside.
Oh, Big Ten Player of the Week with Penn State's Jarrett Stevens.
And they put him on A.J. Guyton to show you how much confidence they have in Jerry Hester.
Under 5 minutes to go. Patterson would have had a 3-point opportunity. He got G up off his feet, and that's going to cost G his 4th.
Well, Andre Patterson shows skills and things that a lot of people 6'9" can't do. Ball fake gets G out of position. G reaches in, fouls Patterson as Patterson was trying to go up and under. G picking up 4.
And a man he shuttled back and forth with. Chukwu also has 4.
Well, they're going to take a chance. Chukwu has actually been playing the best, so looks like Lon Kruger is going to hold off and stay with G, which is probably the right thing to do.
13 for Patterson. Backcourt pressure applied by the Hoosiers.
First of all, the line, I don't turn the ball over much. 13 times a game, just under 14. So they're not a team that I think has a whole lot to worry about, because Indiana can't put enough pressure on them to make them do it.
Tonight they turned it over about their average, right at 13. Following us on Super Tuesday, Georgia, South Carolina. E.J. Mackey suspended for the first half of this game by the Southeastern Conference because of an unsportsmanlike incident not long ago. Here's Kevin Turner. Only 2 in the first half for Turner, yet his team still led by 5, and they have extended that quite a bit throughout most of the second half. Nothing like what they got out of him January 3rd, but they haven't needed it. Gotten a lot of help from his friends tonight. 5 in double figures for Illinois. The lead back to 15.
I was saying to you when we were just in between the commercials, you got to like this Illini team. I mean, they just play. They put on hard hats, come and do. I mean, geez, 4 fouls. You see him make that play.
They play with blinders on about as well as anybody.
They play. I played with Lon Kruger when I was a freshman. He was a senior, and this is how Lon Kruger played. Didn't matter what the score was. He just got it done.
A no-looker to nobody.
You got 2 players trying to make plays they can't make. I mean, they couldn't make those plays at any point, and to make it in traffic is how those how that turnover occurred.
14th turnover by Indiana. 4-minute mark. Again, an Illinois win here and a Michigan State loss to Purdue Sunday. Makes for a co-championship.
Oh, gee. Oh, he made a move. I mean, he had him set up, did a little up and under again.
Yeah, G makes you say, oh, gee, sometimes.
No, he doesn't make very many offensive moves, so when he does, he kind of surprises you. But he came out as one of the top players. As a matter of fact, the top player in Illinois when he came out of high school.
Nice job by Michael Lewis, who gets his first basket in 3 games. He was 0 for 4 at Michigan, just 2 free throws, 1 point at Ohio State, and the 3 here to cut it to 73-61.
Standing out of bounds. Bad possession for Illinois. They go to this 2-3 zone coming back. If Indiana doesn't penetrate the zones or the crack of the zones, they'll have a tough time. No, they've actually gone to kind of like a 1-2-2, but they got Brian Johnson, who's 6'7", on the front to make sure that the point person doesn't get an easy shot. There's no penetration into you got to penetrate the cracks to force two guys to have to guard you. There you go. Now you can make whatever play you're going to make.
Guyton tried to make it himself with a left-handed stoop, and he's fouled by Jerry Hester, who picks up his second again as soon as we're done here. Georgia, South Carolina coming up. Columbia, South Carolina currently second in the SEC East. And can tie for first. They close with Kentucky. Kentucky has 2 on the road, including a trip to Auburn. Still ahead of them. Seton Hall holds off Miami. Huge loss.
Whoa, but I'll tell you what, that's big for Seton Hall and Tommy Amaker, because I tell you, he has done a very good job trying to get himself going for the NIT. And this goes a long way towards saying that they belong a part of that group.
Feldman took his eyes off of it. Guyton there to swallow it up. And it's down to 9 with 2:35 to go. Got a timeout. Fans thought he traveled. He had called time. 17, but Lon Kruger's seen a 6-0 Hoosier run over the last 2 minutes.
Again, you got a senior-laden team in Illinois. They don't have great ball handlers, but they've got ball handlers good enough to make plays and get the ball where it needs to go.
Turner, one of them. 15 to shoot. 10 to shoot. Back to Turner. And makes his move on Lewis, who was called for his third.
And Lewis looked somewhat surprised by it, but I thought Turner made a pretty good move. Kind of set up, accelerate, force the contact. You see the arm go up right there. Official makes a good call. Lewis cannot believe he got called for the foul. Hand was in the cookie jar.
And make it his 4th. 4 on Lewis. Both teams double bonus. Turner a perfect 4 for 4 until now. Two more years for Lewis. His senior night won't come until the 2000 version of it here at Assembly Hall. Turner settles for one. 10-point lead. 2 minutes to go.
This is the reason they have Johnson on the top, because they want to make sure they keep somebody by A.J. Guyton. See, Johnson's up there standing. That's a tough shot for A.J. to take.
It knocks it down, though.
Yeah, it's a heck of a shot, though. You always want pressure, but you got 6-7 pressure. That's huge.
.25 for A.J. Guyton. Minute and a half.
So the good thing about Illinois, well, he kicked the ball. They reset.
That adds 30 seconds. Or 20 seconds to the Illinois shot clock, which was down to 15.
Yeah, they get the reset that Andre Patterson trying to get out, playing in his last game here in Assembly Hall.
Not the blaze of glory he probably envisioned. 13 points. Not his worst either.
Indiana's trying to foul now, and G is the guy they want to foul. So that's why they came out to get him. He'll have 2 in the double bonus.
He's just 60% on the free throw line this year. We will send you to Columbia and join Brad Nessler and Larry Conley for Georgia and South Carolina. Coming up next as Super Tuesday continues.
He made him pay. Made him pay. That's a bit for him. And he got a nice little smile from Lon Kruger, because Jared G normally make a lot of foul shots.
14 for G, about double his average. A minute 18, 8-point game.
Good read by Hester.
Hester ruled out of bounds as he was jostling with Jimenez along that sideline. Back over to Indiana. Only one home loss this year for the Hoosiers. 10-1 here. Guyton can't get it. Rebound by Kevin Turner, knocked out by Lewis.
Before that loss, the Hoosiers had played, and I don't think they'd lost for almost 50 games, but they lost it before December 30th to Iowa, who came in here. And that's when everybody thought Iowa was off to such a great start, and then they struggled after that, particularly at home.
Yeah, that's pretty close to the high water mark for the Hawkeyes. At one time this year, top 10 team, hoping for an NCAA invite. William Gladness call with 1:03. As again, Illinois will try to make it easier on themselves by knocking down the free throws. Down to an 8-point lead.
I mean, as you start getting the championship play, that will always be the story that you have to be able to tell accurately, is whether or not you can step up and make foul shots.
They've overcome a lot statistically. Some of their season doesn't really add up. They are third from the bottom in field goal percentage, only 8th in free throw percentage, only 7th in the Big Ten in rebounding.
Yeah, but you know, they don't let you score. They're like one of the top 3 in defensive field goal, 3-point shooting,
really
as well
all
as
the
field
defensive
goal,
stats, absolutely.
and you know, points against. They're just an outstanding team in that regard.
Lewis trailing at 3 with 56 seconds. 77-70. And let's check in quickly in the studio with Chris Fowler.
And we'll get you to Frank McGuire Arena as soon as the game is over. South Carolina and Georgia, it's already underway. It's been physical. And as soon as we're wrapped up in Bloomington, which will be the site of some interesting senior night speeches, we'll get you to Gamecockville.
All right, Chris. Illinois getting a 20 call, 54.7 seconds to go. And one of the departing seniors will see his first action of the night. That's Richard Mandeville, the 7-footer out of Pasadena, California, as Michael Lewis fouls out.
And Mandeville gets his last shot at it. Sure, he'd like to have been a bigger part of what had been, you know, they hoped would have been a good season, because the Hoosiers actually, right after the Illinois game, played pretty well as Andre Patterson takes a seat. Good sportsmanship by the Illini to go shake the hands of Andre Patterson.
Puzzling career. Is that the best way to describe it?
Enigmatic is probably what you were. He was inconsistent. Just inconsistent. Couldn't get what they wanted from him all the time. But a wonderful young man.
And when he was great, he was so great that he made people wonder why he wasn't always great.
Yeah, what he did was he teased you. He always thought there was just a little more to get, and Andre just did the best he could.
Mandeville tried to get the 3. Robbie Eggers also in, another one of the seniors. 40 seconds to go. Gladness will put Kevin Turner on the line with 38.2. Big Ten, of course, topped by Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans. They close with Purdue Sunday. Illinois, assuming they hang on here, can tie Michigan State if Purdue wins that for the regular season championship. But Michigan State will be the #1 seed in the tournament because of the tiebreaker. You go comparing records from the top on down, and Michigan State has already won that tiebreaker.
If Indiana loses against Iowa, they move into the 6th position and have to play the number 11 team. I mean, that's what I think Indiana's got to play for now, and Iowa's actually started to play a little bit better.
Indiana substitution,
Jimenez back for Indiana. Turner 14 points, 12 in the second half. As Gladness will take a seat, 34 seconds. Charlie Miller can't get the 3. Rebound G. 80-70 Illinois. As Eggers tried to foul Turner. That time he got him. Turner ready to go after him. He had both fists clenched for a moment.
Well, I can't blame him. I mean, you can give a hard foul, but you don't have to give him a hard foul that way. And I'll tell you who else was ready for it. And Tom O'Neill is telling him, you don't have to foul him like that. Now, he comes over and watch. He goes both arms down over somebody's head. That's a pretty hard foul. Now, I'll tell you what, as Eggers walks away, Matt Hellman walked right into him. let him know you're not going to take a shot like that on one of our players and we not stand up to you.
Illinois, mostly Turner, putting this one on ice with the good free throw shooting. Richardson for Guyton, who has had another terrific second half explosion. 17 of his 25 points since intermission.
I'm sure at halftime he was told, you got to come alive for us. Because Lon Kruger knew he was going to need his star to come play. That's exactly what Kevin Turner did.
Marcos Hellman, Jelani Bolin replaces him. Lon Kruger will go to 3-0 against Bob Knight's Indiana teams. And his second win here in as many tries as the Illinois head coach. Rich Byers, 6'8" freshman, to replace Jared Jean. One by one, the Illinois seniors taking a seat on what has not been the happy departure for the outgoing Hoosiers that they had hoped. Although Robbie Eggers gets two here with 15.9.
Yeah, he gets his on the way out. But I tell you, Lon Kruger did a very good job preparing his team. I mean, Lon Kruger is one of the top coaches, I think, in the country. He's going to be assistant coach with Rudy Tomjanovich on this year's World Championship team. So he knows how to coach, and his team came well prepared.
And they get the sweep of the Hoosiers on a technical plague night at Assembly Hall. Our final 82-72. Illinois wins it. For Quinn Buckner, Dave Barnett, so long from Bloomington. And let's send you now to Columbia.
The Badgers